I mean, everyone's shit their pants more than once. Why is he talking? Hello?
Oh no, Deji.
I think she's beautiful.
You just said she looks paralyzed in the face.
Oh, you wanker! You know what I mean? Well, you know
Sorry.
my problem with the kidnapping. I was a fat kid, so no one wanted me. I didn't get stories. Here's the problem. Like, I didn't get those kinds of stories.
I realized that I had a shower just before coming here, so my hair's like still wet, which you get away with. My hair does not look good wet.
Ooh, you'd have to...
So I'm trying to... I don't know. I don't think my hair's... What's crazy is I'm going for like a new look.
Oh, interesting.
Usually I go like kind of side part, almost like comb over-y, but it didn't like look as... Like, when I describe it, that sounds like a 70-year-old man. That's not what I was going for.
Sure, you just across the top. Nothing crazy.
Yeah. But now I'm kind of going like middle-ish parting and just kind of letting the hair go crazy. And then I'm on a maybe...
He's a youngster.
Yeah, I'm like 80% good day. And it turns out that every single time we've done a recording since I've been doing this, I've been on bad days. And every time I look at myself, I'm like, oh no, what the fuck's going on? I also need to trim my beard as well. My beard's got too... Anyway, welcome back to Vintage Cringe.
For this podcast.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what I look like. That's so true. No one's watching this. How are you doing, Stanz? Are you okay?
I'm doing well. Barring I've had some stomach troubles. Not the best way to start a podcast. But other than that, great.
I look bad, you feel bad.
Yeah, exactly. So together we are bad.
Or we combine the best parts of us. Actually, I wouldn't say... I think both of our stomachs might be having a bad time currently. Anyway, let's not...
No.
Should we restart?
No, this is great. Let's just run into it.
Let's just run into it. So I got a bunch of stuff that we could talk about today, Stanz. And now we've started doing this new thing. You've got access to the little thing, the doc.
I've got so much access. I love seeing what we're going to talk about.
So I also have decided now that I'm telling you this now. In the future, I think we should both we should just have a binge and cringe doc that we add stuff in and then delete everything out of since we finished, because I feel like how bad your memory is. If you had a doc that you could write an interesting thing in to bring up on the podcast later, you would, but. Every time before we're about to record, I'm like, hey, Stanz, do you have any fun, interesting things to talk about today? You're like, nope, nothing. Literally, nothing has happened in my whole entire life.
Nothing on my mind.
In the last 2 weeks since we've done an episode, there is literally nothing I could possibly think of, which is definitely not true. I think exciting things are definitely happening. I just don't think you remember any of them. So
I live my life in the moment, you know what I mean? Not for commercial interests.
I respect that, genuinely. I try and make an effort because I also know that I'm kind of bad at remembering things. Like people will say, what's like your... Like there's a bunch of podcast-y type topics that I see other podcasts do. And I could just imagine us trying to do that and both of us just fucking going, I literally don't remember anything about my life ever. Like a generic podcast thing would be like, so what's your most embarrassing story? And this is not me saying I don't have any embarrassing moments. I just can't think of any at all.
Really? Oh man, I feel like I've got endless ammo. I mean, everyone's shit their pants more than once.
I'm trying to think of when I have that's been like a worthwhile story.
Right.
Like, I've shit my pants when I'm fucking...
Have you ever waved to someone who you believe is waving at you and it turns out they were waving to someone behind you?
Yeah, but that's that's lame level 1. That's not podcast.
Hey, I'm just throwing out ideas for you. You said you had none. I'm saying I've shit my pants in public multiple
so what
times.
I'm saying is I'm not... It's not that I'm denying these things have happened, but when you say that doesn't make me go, oh my God, yeah, I remember that time. I have no... There's no memories in the bank. There's nothing. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure that has happened. But when you say that I don't think of a specific time, I'm just like, I know that is a thing that probably has existed, but I don't have a story, which sucks.
Fair.
But I thought you'd be the same because your memory's fucking awful.
Yeah, about certain things.
So do you have, if I said, what's your most embarrassing story, what would it be?
I think if you asked me what my most embarrassing story was, I could give you a couple stories that are like moderately embarrassing. They probably wouldn't be the most embarrassing thing. I would have to sit down and truly think on it to find like, when did I actually feel like sick to my stomach embarrassed? You know what I mean?
I genuinely think that most of my like most of the memories I remember are just traumatic. I think I have like space for like, oh shit, that was really fucking bad, and then nothing past there. That's the only things that I'm keeping in the bag is like really good memories, and then things that are like, hey, this is a almost defense mechanism. It's survival of the fittest. Never do this again in your life. Never let this happen to you because that was bad.
I mean, hey, I think that's what for most podcasts they'd say that's the dream.
No, but it's like raw emotional shit. It's not like funny innocuous. That's not us, you know?
Fair. Yeah.
Hey, weekly mention of Wine About It. I'm not at the level where I can talk about like some of the shit that Cutie and Maya talk about on their podcast. That's like, yeah, so this was my life, is insane. And if that had happened to me, I don't think I would ever be able to like innocuously tell that as a funny story. That's not like, that's props to them.
I mean, if something bad happened, you might as well get a good story out of it. You know what I mean?
I'm agreeing with them. Like, I think that's, I wish I could, but I don't know. It's just not me. Like she tells a story of how she was like very, very, very close to being kidnapped. Yes. I think she like went to a bank. She like pulled out stuff and then was like meeting them somewhere, and she ended up being like intercepted by the police and then told them the story, and they were like, yeah, you were about to be kidnapped. I think that's the gist, right? It's fucking insane.
Yeah, that rules.
It's a sick story, but like obviously I've never been kidnapped, but I don't know. I just don't have anything even close to that.
Well, you know my problem with the kidnapping. I was a fat kid, so no one wanted me. I didn't get stories. Here's the problem. Like I didn't get those kinds of stories.
Is that you didn't get kidnapped? That's because no one wanted you.
Hey, I couldn't get that story. You know what I mean? I was not the primo stock of the kidnapping litter.
Do you think you'd be the primo stock for the adult napping? Or do you think...
No, God, no. God, no.
Oh, no. But better when you were a child? What percentage increase?
No, I've improved since I was a child. Okay. When I was a child, I was like chubby, know-it-all, pretty annoying. You know what I mean? And I've at least like tamped down on the annoyingness.
I was going to say, well, weight. You're not chubby anymore. But...
Yeah, exactly. I get it. Still a bit annoying. Caught Twitch streamer. But I have like improved marginally in many facets, but I still don't think I'm like prime kidnapping material. I'm also not rich, which I think adults get kidnapped because they're rich.
Yeah, for like ransom shit. There's no way that's happening. I'm sorry, I was imagining me. I was putting myself in that situation, not just shitting on you. Yeah, there's no way anyone's getting a ransom out of me. Okay, let's move on to some of the shit in this doc that we haven't prepared with funny stories. I think we should talk about this first.
Okay.
If you don't know, Randolph, the goat, do you know who I'm talking about? Do you remember him? This guy?
Yes, I remember him.
Looks like a beaver, I think. He looks like a cross between me and a beaver. Is that unfair? If I had sex with a beaver, this would be my child.
It's not that unfair, but it's still very mean.
Okay, I don't think it's very fair, but sorry, I don't think it's not very nice, but I think it's reasonable. This is Randolph's vlog. He vlogs every weekday-ish, and his vlogs have been doing relatively well. He's convinced like all the sidemen. He went from like, I don't want to vlog any of the sidemen, but then like all of them have been super friendly with him and really nice. So they're like recommending him, like encouraging him to start bringing out the camera around them and stuff, so he can use them in like title and thumbnails, which is very funny.
Sure. Awesome,
yeah, they've been very sweet with each other. And he was at a Calux shoot with Deji, and they got on to talking about the bet. You know, the infamous Deji bet.
The abs bet.
Yeah. Because we left that. If you don't have any context, we did a video on Stanz's channel that was talking about Deji's 1 million. It was £1 million, right?
I can't remember. It was a lot of fucking money, though.
The 6-pack. What do you want to give context, Stanz? Because you know this. We did a video.
So basically, KSI has gotten very into boxing. So is Deji, but KSI got absolutely ripped out of his gourd. Right? There's that like famous picture of him flexing, and he's got ripped
out of his gourd multiple times. So
he's
like the goat at it.
The sidemen were arguing that, or at least KSI was arguing with the sidemen, that actually he is built different and that he works hard and that it is not genetics. And the way they decided to prove that it wasn't genetics was Deji, KSI's brother, would have 6 months to also get that six-pack. If he could do it, he would win $1 million, and then it would also prove that it was genetics and not KSI working hard and being different. Am I correct so far?
Yeah, and it didn't go very well.
It did not go very well. Deji started extremely late on this. He got like a pretty decent looking set of abs, but it wasn't like this absolutely ripped ass six pack that he needed to get. And I don't think anyone saw it and was like, yeah, he deserves the $1 million. Like everyone, even his fans were like, that's maybe close.
They did do a poll at the time on the stream, and it
but the poll was a meme.
Yeah, it was like 51% in favor of Deji, but I think people just felt bad because he was.
Yeah, they felt bad, or they just wanted to like meme KSI. They hate KSI, his fans. I've learned that. Yeah.
And the biggest part of all of that was Deji said he wasn't going to do the punishment, which was
wear a mankini and sprint down a busy street in London, right?
Yeah, like the busiest, like in front of Buckingham Palace, like a whole strip.
Sure.
And he had to run there and back like 5 times. And he didn't do the punishment.
And he said right then, he's like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah,
which was,
and
in my mind,
we ended that reaction with us going like, hey, if he like ends up doing something like later, if he mans up and actually does it, that would be very sick. And he still hasn't done it. Spoiler alert. So this is Randy talking to Deji and Calux, but about the bet.
Yeah, but I didn't win. So when I saw you there on the stream,
by the way,
do you know what I did? I said, here's my laptop. I went, no, but I mean, look.
You thought, by the way, we were all hating on you, didn't it? On that night, we weren't at all.
Yeah, Deji
we
was
were just being
pissed at
truthful.
them.
We were actually being truthful.
We were just like, we hasn't done it, man. Like we wanted to. We wanted you to win.
And I need to see the
six packs are like what?
The fourth is crazy, by the way. The fourth is mental.
80% lighting. That's what six packs are.
Six packs are 80% lighting. Oh no, Deji! The whole point of the challenge was that it had to be like not with fancy lighting.
In any lighting, yeah, that was what they talked about. Yeah,
and specifically like JJ's previous six packs have like 100% you've been able to see that shit no matter what.
Sure, and he's done
is.
them, like obviously he has that Men's Health one or whatever it was, the magazine, but like he's also just done it in YouTube vlogs where he's like revealed his abs and flexed.
And like when he's been boxing, you can like see him, like obviously he's like maybe tensing a little bit because he's boxing, but he's like not trying, he's not going, let me make sure I look like I have a six pack right now and let me get the right lighting. Like you just look at him and he's like, oh yeah, he's got a six pack. It's crazy.
No,
I'm going to send you a picture.
No.
And you'll be like, whoa.
Yeah,
by the way,
I did that, but like when you see someone like jogging along outside, if JJ's jogging along, it is prime.
Yeah, there we go. Exactly what we said.
By the way, you not doing a fourth is actually crazy, you know.
Yes, Randy.
Listen. You not. Oh my God. You do the same fucking.
That's crazy. So you don't know this context, Stanz. The troops, which I've told you who the troops are. Do you remember?
No idea. No.
Oh, it's basically the sidemen plus like extra members, which is like
got it, because there's the troops and there's the fellas and there's just too many. The sidemen, there's too many of these guys.
So the troops have like an FPL. Not every single member is on it, but they have a FPL, which is the Fantasy Premier League, the British football. And they have this group where the winners get a free holiday. Like everyone goes on this holiday, but everyone in the middle pays for the holiday, apart from the bottom three, and they pay for the top three, essentially.
Oh, so you pay for your own in the middle, bottom three pay for the top three. Okay.
Yeah, or like they pay for, everyone pays for like the extra bit, but I think the top three get like everything completely free. The bottom three get fucked. And as well as having to pay for this holiday, or if you don't pay for the holiday, I can't remember. Anyway, there was like, I think Calix was like dead last, and they all agreed to this extra punishment, which was you have to post at least, I think it was 3 TikTok dances a week for a month.
That's insane.
Did
Calix agree to that?
With no context. You can't tell everyone that you're doing this for a punishment. You have to just do them. And Calux did 3 TikTok dances for the month rather than 3 a week for a month.
Right.
So he half-assed it, which is even worse because you didn't really do the punishment, but you you still like looked embarrassing online. So it would be like if Deji did 2 laps of the thing instead of all 5, and then went, yeah,
right, which is at least something, to be fair.
It is at least something.
Yeah.
But the whole group were like getting really annoyed at Calix for not doing it. So he's been kicked out of the FPL. He's not allowed to take part next time because he didn't.
Yeah, I think if you don't do the punishment, you shouldn't be allowed to.
Yeah, but also now
I think that happened in our fantasy football league with S-Fan. I think he was like, "I'm just not doing it," and we were like, "Oh."
What was the wait? Was there a punishment? What was the punishment?
I can't remember. This was like year 1. But I remember it was like, oh, it's going to be a good punishment. And then he got last and like nothing happened. And it was like, oh, so it's just for the money then. Obviously it's a paid league. So.
Yeah. That sucks. But I think, there has to be like some honor for like the punishment in knowing that it's the same argument with Deji's thing, right? If you know that you would have got the reward.
He was going to take the million if he won, but not doing the punishment, it makes it super cringe.
You've got to be able to do both sides. And Randolph realizes as we come back to this video in the moment that he's talking to 2 people
who have not followed through on their punishment.
Yeah, so Calix is ripping Deji for not doing his, even though Calix also hasn't, which is very funny.
Yeah.
Guy, man.
No, but do you know why?
No, but listen to
The
me.
internet is forever.
Yes, but listen, right? Okay.
I have kids. They search Deji and then no. Let's say I have kids.
Wait, what? Is that exposed?
No. Let's say I have kids and they search Deji and then they see me in a mankini.
Real quick though, Deji, right?
That excuse I think is crazy because
it's a terrible excuse.
The amount of shit that you can search for Deji online and find some like insane stuff, and also. Like his brother, for example, JJ has a bunch of crazy things that he's done that are like online. I think his like balls exist online. There's like some fucking insane stuff, and I don't think he's worried about it at all. I understand they're different people, but like if your like literal family brother is like all right with that kind of stuff, you'd think like Deji's hypothetical children aren't going to be like, oh my god, I think less of my uncle now because he's done these crazy things online. And Randolph, I realize I just paused it, but he has a really good point here, which is sick.
You understand? No, listen. But I'd argue, you are a laughingstock if you didn't do the forfeit. Your kids are going to grow up knowing my dad is not true to his word. Because listen...
why is he talking? Hello?
Alex going see, it's so funny. But I like this. This is kind of, like when we watched the stream, Deji was like really annoyed, and he was annoyed at like everyone in the troops chat like piping up and being like, oh, maybe he didn't
thought
do
they
it.
were making fun of him and stuff.
It shows that like the way that they were acting that might have made Deji annoyed, they're not fake. They're not just like, as soon as they're around Deji, they're going to be like, oh, no, I understand what you were doing, blah, blah, blah. They're real. Like, Randolph will be like, hey, that was cringe, and you should do the fucking punishment. Like, they're just real friends rather than, like, yes men, which I think is very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the end of the... I wanted to bring it up to you to kind of close the Deji 6-pack chapter, because... Hey, he's not doing the punishment, is he? There's no way.
No,
right?
He's not doing the punishment. Deji's cringe. I'm out on Deji, and I'm in on Randy, dude. Vlogging.
Yes,
Randy, I love this.
We love Big Randy.
I wish I had the not personality. I wish I had the brain to vlog. I cannot do it. I can't.
I think you slowly get over it. Because I think Randolph also found it weird at first, because he's like, when I say like at first, he's only recently started to do vlogs. It's going to be really hard for me to show you the first one though, because he's been like doing basically daily, but it's maybe been, I would say, less than a year. Let's see. I'm scrolling through. 10 months. 10 months ago is Reacts. Yeah. So,
because you can see the content changed.
The future of this channel 7 months ago. And he's been vlogging for 7 months, and he's kind of
starting your vlogs with watching football with KSI, is actually insane. Yeah.
Yeah. But could you tell? I don't know if you can tell. I can tell. Most of these thumbnails are AI.
What?
Yeah. So like the backgrounds in them aren't real. He's real in them, but like he AIs a lot of the other stuff.
Does he really?
Yeah, but not the AI you're thinking of.
Sure, but even then, is he using like Photoshop AI or whatever?
Yes.
That still steals from artists, doesn't it?
I don't think so, because I think Adobe have licensed. They've got a bunch of licensed content in their
Sure, but I think the license is like when you turn on Photoshop, it's like, do you consent to this? And if not, you can't use Photoshop.
I could be different. I don't think that. I do agree that there was a prompt thing that came up like a couple months ago that was like they changed something and it was insane. But they were all before that. They were already doing the Photoshop thing, and they haven't changed that since the AI Photoshop thing. I think they're just using the thumbnails, the license
outside of the background are endearing. Like I feel like I enjoy seeing just like a man doing things.
A man
like,
happy with colorful things and food.
Yeah, man happy. It's like, hey, I'm on a plane reading a book, or hey, I'm with my friend. I'm at a road. The rodeo one actually looks like a fake thumbnail. In fact, a lot of these look fake now.
Yeah,
but like the Oasis one looks great, dude. It's just him and the boys.
Yeah, they're really sick. But Randy's great. If you don't watch Randy's vlogs, but you're like a Sidemen guy, you're crazy. You're missing out. Go watch Randall's vlogs. He's also been kind of falling off recently. So go and watch him because he's the GOAT.
He needs it.
He doesn't, to be clear, he's not like caring about it too much, and he's looking for someone to like work on title and thumbnails with him. Because he's been focusing on like Pokemon and his weight journey and a bunch of stuff. He's locking in, as he calls it. But Randy's the GOAT. We love Randy.
All right, lock in, Randy.
There's been a lot of like UK festival news from me.
Okay.
I have a story about Oasis tickets that I kind of want to save for a main channel Stanz video. Which sounds crazy, but I think an Oasis Ticketmaster scam video would go fucking hard because for context, Oasis have come back together. They are reunited.
Yeah, the brothers, the Gallaghers.
Yeah, they will live forever, and they are going to be living forever, and they are living for a limited time only at these certain dates on the tour. And the tickets went live for them recently. But before we get into that, I wanted to find out from you, because I heard you talking on stream about Oasis. But I didn't catch any of your like thoughts or opinions. I just saw chat.
Yes.
What are your Oasis thoughts?
Man, I have so few. I don't know what you heard me say about Oasis. Have you seen the television show Lost?
Yes, but I didn't think Oasis songs in that.
Whenever I imagine Oasis, it is the Hobbit guy who is also in Lost that is like a rock star. I just imagine it's him and his brother, Merry and Pippin.
The Hobbit? Oh, right. Sorry.
You know, in season 1 of Lost, one of the characters is like a rock star.
Is also the Hobbit in a Hobbit.
Is
in Lord
also
of the
the
Rings.
Hobbit. Yeah. So
I was
Merry
imagining
in
there
my
being
mind,
a Hobbit in Lost, and because there's some crazy shit in Lost. There's like
There's
polar
some crazy
bears and
shit in
shit. I thought there was going to be a Hobbit that I missed or something.
Yeah, Merry and Pippin are the Gallaghers to me. So
Okay,
like when I think
yeah.
about them, the thought that British people would spend like thousands of dollars on a ticket to see like in my mind what are these like goofy little characters is crazy.
Interesting.
But I kind of get it.
They're not little, for sure. I don't think that affects
my mind,
your opinion of them, because it doesn't matter what size they are, but they aren't hobbits. I think Liam is like easily over 6 foot, and Noel seems small in comparison, but he's got to be close to 6 foot. Like they're not hobbits.
Sure.
But I wouldn't say they're the tallest people, but that doesn't just fucking playing music. What do you mean? What's the size
in my mind, there are like these two whimsical little hobbits that are, and I'm gonna say it, and I know this is not true, but from like my perspective, like one-hit wonders, and it's like the
crazy.
thought that anyone would pay this much money is crazy.
I would I mean, obviously this is the case. If Wonderwall was their only song, then yeah, I would understand you calling them one-hit wonders. So like I can see it from your perspective, because that is kind of like they're obviously not as big in the US as they are in the UK, so that maybe is their like one song. But you would have at least heard. Well, you maybe not, because your memory
Sometimes
is.
I miss things.
Yeah. I fully believe you will have heard in your lifetime like at least 2 or 3 other Oasis songs, but you might not remember them because I've shown you things last year that you don't remember. So I'm not banking on that being like the beacon of all knowledge.
I have heard Champagne Supernova as I look at this
Champagne Supernova is great.
Yeah.
Don't Look Back in Anger is a fucking big one.
Sure, it's high up on this list.
Live Forever. But there's a ton that I could list that I just really like. But those, I think Live Forever, Champagne Supernova, Don't Look Back in Anger, Wonderwall, are like 4 ones that are like everywhere. Each one of those individually could be the one-hit wonder for like an indie band that you would hear everywhere.
Right. They managed to do it to repeat their success.
Yeah, it's just that Wonderwall is like so successful that it's leagues above the others, even though each of them individually are like also like big.
Right.
Yeah, it amazes me. Like, I completely get if you don't like Oasis, like that's fine, but I just don't think you can say like they don't have like very many good songs when like 5 of them are as good as like one band's like only good song. Like,
I think the fact that they are
levels.
feuding and they are also like goofy British guys, it's just like tough to separate all this like fake pageantry that we have cluttered onto them as an American. You know what I mean? It's tough because
what
like
do you mean
hear these
fake
accents for real.
pageantry?
I like, to us, it's like Jerry Springer. It's like Dr. Phil.
That's
it's like
very
these
funny.
two. It would be like if Sacha Baron Cohen was like doing a thing where he was like going on stage and arguing with himself. You know what I mean? As like these brothers.
Yeah.
Like it feels not real.
I think there's been so
Oi,
much
wanker!
parody.
You know what I
There's
mean?
been so much
Yeah,
parody
it
of
feels
it
like
that
parody.
it like
Yeah.
takes it to the extreme for sure. Because I don't think they didn't really like, they beefed a lot and talked shit about each other a lot. But there aren't like any like big clips that are like, oh my God, that's like, for example, when you think, oh, Tom Cruise is crazy, you think of that one clip of him on Oprah jumping on the couch being fucking insane.
Of course.
There isn't a clip of like that exists that's like, oh, this is the clip where like they didn't like punch each other like it's like on tape or whatever, you know?
Or throw a chair or something.
Yeah. There's like a series of events of like one-liners and like clear beef behind the scenes and then obviously them breaking up. Like it's not like that they weren't doing those things, but it's not as like I don't know. It's in the pop culture fucking zeitgeist because they were fucking huge at the time, and it was like they are literally like the biggest band, and they broke up just because the 2 brothers can't fucking get along. That was kind of like the whole. How has this even happened?
Right.
And also, Liam Gallagher's fucking insane on Twitter. He is
he
so
really?
funny. The way he tweets like he talks. So he'll end a lot of his tweets with "as you were." LG and then put like a little kiss and he's like, people have recently tried to come at him saying that he's like anti-LGBT, and then they've pulled up like years of tweets of people messaging him saying like, just finished transitioning, and he's like, great on you, as you were, LG. Like he's
sorry, what is LG?
Liam Gallagher. He's just like signing his tweets.
God, he's just signing off all his tweets.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry.
But there's one very famous like Twitter interaction where Noel had blocked Liam, and then Liam had replied being like, "Tell my brother to unblock me." And then Noel replied saying, "You're unblocked. What is it?" And he said, "You're a cunt." And then he got reblocked. It's so fucking funny, and I fully believe like that this was like during peak of them like not being together. So I don't think I don't think any of this has been done for publicity. I think it's fully they were like it's
right, because they could have made
beef.
so much money just touring and stuff. Yeah.
Liam's wanted this to the reunion for a bit longer than Noel has, I think. Noel's been chatting a lot of shit. Part of me wanted to do a big dive into all of this for you for like main channel.
Right, Oasis, the history.
Yeah, to like go over the beef, why they broke up and whatever. And I was trying to find like a bunch of clips and things because I was like really like, oh, I'm so into Oasis now. I want to find out. I want to do all this research because I want to make a good video because I'm going to go see them and it's going to be sick. Spoiler alerts, the tickets were fucking, the whole situation of getting tickets, fucking dog shit, awful, cringe.
Yeah.
And I didn't get any tickets, so now I don't
now
want to
you
do
know how
that
the
dive.
Swifties felt, dude.
Yeah,
If we were making fun of them.
I was, to be clear, I never made fun of Swifties. I love Swifties.
You were talking shit about them hardcore.
We love them. We love them. We would never hate on the Swifties. Big fan base. All my respect goes out to them. But I don't think that there has been as big as a like fuck up as this for like an event ever. I think this is genuinely like the biggest like scandalous like thing that a ticket site has done. And it's fucking crazy.
Really? This feels very UK centric.
No, because of how big Oasis are, it's only UK centric because it only happened in UK tour dates, European tour dates. Because it's not, they've not like announced their US tour. I think they are going to do it. They put like a billboard up in Times Square or something. But just it's because it's Ticketmaster. Is Ticketmaster the main thing for you guys as well? Is that across the board, or is it just UK?
Yeah, I think we have like 3 of them. We have like Ticketmaster, we have StubHub, but it's all the same and they're all garbage.
Yeah, Ticketmaster's basically our only one, and for the Oasis gig, it was the only one. Like they had 2 other like very small sites, but none of them worked. None of them, not even Ticketmaster worked. None of it worked. It was all cringe. It was all awful. And I'll get into why it was so bad. I think maybe for a main channel video, maybe today.
Sure, it was the surge pricing stuff, right?
Yes, yeah.
That's
surge
classic.
pricing, but like the level of like Ticketmaster fucking up to begin with before the surge pricing, all of it was fucking awful. So I think it would be good to do a main channel video because it'd just be a bunch of people clicking on going, yeah, this happened to me. It fucking sucks.
People do love to hate on Ticketmaster. And so we would get a lot of comments. Type 1 if you fucking hate Ticketmaster, and everyone would lose their mind.
And there was, so minimum, there was 1,500,000 tickets available. So that's like, I'm imagining there's at least 10 times that we're trying to get tickets. So the scale potential for people being really annoyed that didn't get tickets is like, we got 9 million views there, Stanz. We've got to capitalize on it ASAP.
Right, on people that, I mean, how many people even live in the UK? Is this even a reasonable number?
That's insane. We got like 300 million.
Ah, yes. And they all love Oasis.
But I unless there was like 100 million people going, like trying to get tickets, then the amount of fuck up that there was on Ticketmaster's end is insane because they should have expected the amount that they got. But anyway, we won't talk about that.
We'll save it.
Yeah, well, I say we won't talk about that. I know we've talked about Oasis for a long time, but
this guy loves Oasis.
We love Oasis on this podcast, both of us as a duo. We both love Oasis.
Well, one of us loves Oasis. One of us thinks they are very silly and cool.
One of us is going to live in a champagne supernova in the sky. The other of us is not going to live forever. They're
so true.
They're going to be waiting with Sally, you know?
Ah, yeah, that's a song. Hey, one of us is going to buy cigarettes and alcohol at Digsy's Diner while they cast no shadow.
That's another top class banger that is up there with like best song a band could write, and it's
of course, You know, it was my master plan. I wrote it. This Morning Glory.
Insane. Do you want to get one more in before we move on? If you've got the list up there.
No, because if I don't get out of here, I'm not going to ever be married with children. So.
I was going to talk about Leeds. That was the other festival-y thing that happened to me that was kind of crazy. Did you hear anything about Leeds Fest? I don't think you would.
No.
But
nothing at all.
I did a tweet, so I was wondering, sometimes like if one person that you're following tweets about it, you get like recommended other tweets.
Yeah, if you look at it, dude, it happens all the time with like the most random shit.
Yeah, so I was wondering if you saw something and were like, what the fuck is this shit? So I went to Leeds Fest on just a day ticket on the Friday. And anyone that lives in the UK that knows about Leeds Fest knows that is maybe the worst case scenario after what has happened at Leeds Fest.
Oh, no.
So we wake up on the Friday. I live in Manchester, so we're going to get a train there. It's not too far. It's like an hour. And we see Leeds Fest has tweeted out they're not letting people into the festival because of how windy it is. Which sounds insane, but then you look at how windy it was. These are the people that were camping there, and look at this shit.
I mean, that is very windy.
Very windy. It looks windy, but then you see the tents flying through the sky, and the bits everywhere, all of the destroyed gazebos and stuff. This is a tweet from TBD TV, who we've talked about on the podcast before, but they do like festival things, and they're from Leeds, so Leeds is like their stomping ground. They tweeted
oh my god, you turned on the sound and it scared the shit out of me.
I'm sorry, I meant to try and pause it. They tweeted Universal went all out with their Twister promo at Leeds Fest this year, which is very funny, +2. So you might think that would be like a perfectly normal, like, wind is sure, you know, it's gonna be a bit windy, but like out of all of the bad weathers, I think that's one of the most manageable ones.
Sure.
Unless it's like an actual tornado, which we don't get in the UK, so that was never like a worry or an issue. These winds, however, because they were like carrying objects through the fucking sky, had somehow managed to destroy like 50% of the stages in Leeds.
What?
So there was, I think, like 5 different like tents and stages that were supposed to be showing artists, and 3 of them shut down. So there was only 2 available, and one of them was like a DJ thing that was like for later at night. So it was just main stage. That was the only one that managed to stay open. And like me and Will, my friend that I went with, wanted to see 10 artists that were on the billing. And only 2 of them were available after all of the cancellations. So. And there's no signs of refund or anything like that, which is insane, right?
Yeah.
How is that even? It's
legal.
It's actually like I completely understand the wind being an issue, and then like safety, and maybe the stages were fucked, whatever. The bit that fucks me up is like all these artists were supposed to perform and then just couldn't perform, but they would have had to have been in Leeds because it got cancelled the day of. So there's like artists that aren't from the UK that were there that would have, I hope,
just
not,
hanging out in Leeds.
Yeah, I hope
hitting
they
a
didn't
spoons
just, like,
and
fly
having a
out for
Southwest
it.
salad, you know?
Quite a few bands did like pop-up gigs in Leeds, but it was at the same time as Leeds Fest because they just weren't performing there. So you had to like, it wasn't like popping out of a festival going next door or whatever. It would be like an hour's bus journey. So couldn't really do that. So I got to see Liam Gallagher, which was another reason why I was in the Oasis hype.
That's cool. He
was one of the main acts, and Catfish and the Bottlemen, which I'd already seen twice before. I can't remember now. So one of the artists that I got to see, I've already seen recently anyway. Which it was still great to see them, but it was like, bro, was it worth it? I don't know.
Yeah, probably not. At least it was only an hour train ride.
Yeah, so it wasn't too bad, and we had a good night. There was actually a crazy story I've just remembered. An insane story. So we were waiting for the bus to get back into the center of Leeds after everything had finished. And they put us in like this big like pig pen kind of vibe where it was just like these 2 big metal barriers and then like 10 people wide were like queuing up. So it was just a huge like crowd of people waiting to get on this bus. And then they were funneling us out through like this tiny little gap. It was literally like it was like you would for like sheep, you know, where they go down like this, there. It goes from a big funnel to like a 1-person alleyway thing.
One single file line.
Yeah.
Towards the end, yeah.
So there was that, and we were waiting there for a long time. The whole system seemed very badly like organized. Whatever, it's a festival. I was expecting it to not be great, so it's not the worst thing in the world. But we see this guy climb over this huge metal fence, and everyone's drunk. So we're like, "Wait!" And then he lost his shoe, and he got stuck on the top of the fence. We were like, "Wait, what a fucking dickhead!" And then he like runs off into the darkness. Anyway, like 20 minutes later, when we're getting on the bus, he gets on the bus after us and sits next to us with like 3 other people. And he is clearly like incredibly drunk, and he tells us this story. He's boasting about this story. He's just told everyone that his wife, who he sat next to, is actually his sister, and that their mother is dead, and that they are going to try and like they've just found out, and they need to get home as quickly as possible.
What?
And he broke out of the tent thing that we were in, the metal fence, to run to find someone, to then find the other people that were in the crowd to get them on the bus quicker.
Right,
and just told everyone that his
mum's dead.
Well, he was then going, I must be a sick person, but I just told everyone that my mum's dead, and everyone on this bus thinks that my mum's dead. And he was just like shouting it to everyone. It was like the most fucking embarrassing thing ever. And he was talking to me and Will like we were like gonna confide in him, like we were his good mates or whatever. And we were like, I don't want to know
in that
you.
moment.
No, bro.
Yeah.
He was boasting. He wasn't saying like, oh, I feel really bad. He was like saying it in like a boasting about it way. It was so fucking cringe.
You kind of glossed over the fact that he said that he was married to his sister.
Yeah, it was. I'm not glossing over anything. All of it's crazy. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
You are. I am telling the story. You're the one that's not reacting to the crazy shit, Stanz. That's the craziest bit. It's insane.
That is crazy. How is she reacting to this? Because she's on the bus sitting next to him.
Oh, she was like, "Oh, you're a legend. We got on the bus." She didn't give a fuck. She was like, "Oh no, my mum's dead." She kept on like feigning in and out of character. And then he was like, "Yeah, I guess I'm fucking my sister," which is obviously a normal thing that you say on a bus full of strangers.
Yeah, so presumably he's just trying to get on the first bus. He's just making up stories, and he thinks it's funny to say that he's married to his sister.
What? Sorry. So he that's how he got on that bus.
Yeah.
As in he because he broke through, he got the security to like collect the people from the huge queue of people that he was behind everyone.
Yeah. So we're thinking he just lied.
Yeah, obviously. That was sorry, maybe I didn't make that clear.
What do you mean obviously? I believe people.
I said at the start of the story that he was like it was his wife and that he was pretending that he was his sister and that his mum died.
That could be real. Wait, why are you blaming me for this?
No, he told me that he was pretending, Stanz. That's what I'm telling you.
You never said pretending. You said that like, oh, my wife's actually my sister or whatever. I didn't know he was pretending.
Maybe I missed that bit.
That bit does change everything because to me, I'm like, this guy's in pain. What is happening here?
No, he's lying about his mum dying. He's pretending that his wife is his sister. Obviously, his wife's not his sister.
Well, then obviously you don't need to be there for him in his time of need. What do you mean, obviously? You British people do it different, man.
That's a you thing. That doesn't happen in the UK. That's
it famously
Alabama
does.
fucking...
These kings and queens are marrying their goddamn cousins and sisters.
No, okay, that's royalty. We do it different here. These guys are not royalty.
Sure. Okay. You know what? It's all coming together now. And I would not want to sit next to this man.
I was wondering why you were so chill about it. You were trying to be respectful of this guy having his
I was
dead
trying
mom.
to figure it out. Yeah, I was just trying to figure anything out at this point. And yeah, it does make way more sense that he lied.
Okay.
Which is why I was like, yeah, he's lying, right?
I will 100% concede if I never said lying or pretending. I feel like I was pretty clear. But,
totally fine, yeah. I was taking it at face value.
Someone, I will find out in the edit who was the fool, and I have a feeling maybe it was me because I guess I was thinking that me saying that he was the sister maybe was the bit that was like obviously it was a prank.
Sure, and
or maybe I said pretending, but.
This dude's fucking his sister, man. It's like a porno at this point. What the hell's going on here at this festival?
No, he was lying about it all to get further in the queue.
Like, on the bus.
Yeah.
And then bragging about it like how goofy. Like, would I even this is my wife, not my sister. Yeah,
there we go. We're on the same boat. We're on the same page now. Yeah, none of it was true. And he was telling us how it was all a lie and bragging about it. It was insane. And he had two friends with him that he'd also managed to get through that were like hiding their faces in shame. It was so like I felt bad for them.
But honestly, they got on the bus. They utilized his lying story to get an advantage, so they can't feel that much shame.
Yeah, well, I think he'd been like, I don't think they really wanted to have that be the way that they got on the bus. I don't think they cared that much.
But they took advantage of it.
They like, I don't think they had a choice. He like singled them out. He was pointing at them being like, they're with us as well. They need to come. So then like stewards went and got them from the crowd of people. Sure. So in that moment, I guess the only option would be to say his mum's not dead. Leave us in the queue. Right. Otherwise, what do you do?
Which would actually go so hard.
That would have been very funny. I wish if that had happened, I wish I'd seen that. But yeah, that was Leeds. I didn't really get much, and then
you've been
some
unlucky
crazy guy
on music festivals.
Very, very unlucky. Do you have any crazy... Have you ever been to a festival, Stanz? I was going to say, do you have any festival stories? But
I have been to one festival. It was the Pot of Gold Fest in Tempe, Arizona at Tempe Town Lake.
Okay. What is that?
Headlined by
Is that just a name? Or
St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, but like, is that why? Like, is there like special events on, or is it just a music festival?
Nah, it was just a music festival. Let's see if they still do it. Pot of Gold.
Because it seems like a very
Fest.
American thing for there to be like gold digging or something there as well. Like you.
Oh no, not like you're thinking like Prospector. This is like Leprechaun.
Yeah.
Pot
Okay.
of Gold.
Okay.
It is. Here's a Facebook page for it that looks like shit. Oh, they had Post Malone. Look at that. They had Post Malone, man. It's not
but you
terrible.
didn't see Post Malone? I guess if you don't.
This was before Post Malone was like famous. You know what I mean? I guess they haven't even done it since 2019. But I went in probably 2013 or something like that. 2014. It was Kendrick Lamar as the headliner and like Schoolboy Q on another stage and stuff.
Oh, sick.
It was fun, man. I'm trying to look at. They have photos here. See if I can find like this set list. But I did realize early on, and I was young. I'm just not a festival guy, man.
That's fair.
This ain't for me, dude.
That seems like a
feel
pretty sick festival. I know this isn't the lineup. This wasn't yours, right? But
no, the one that they're showing there is not mine.
Well,
but it's like
sick.
similar grouping of people. You know what I mean?
dude, you look at like I was looking at previous Leeds Fest like lineups to compare to what the one that like I didn't even get a full lineup of Leeds Fest. And then I was looking at ones from like years ago. There was like Arctic Monkeys, Foo Fighters, fucking Catfish
you got
and the
Liam
Bottlemen.
Gallagher and Catfish Boys.
yeah.
That's tough.
1975 early on as well, like all on the same day, not even like spread out throughout the weekend. Like it used to be crazy. Festivals used to go hard, and I think bands have died, so there's less
They've fallen
festivals.
off, man. But I realized it wasn't for me. You know, it was cool, but like beer was expensive, and like honestly, I go to festivals the same way I go to like sporting events, which is like I go and I sit down and I like kind of disassociate and stare at the thing that I'm there for. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I'm not there to like chat with the homies or like just jump up and celebrate. Like I clap when good thing happens and I just stare. And it's like I'm not getting my money's worth. I can just watch this on TV or something.
You maybe would have had a better time watching on TV. Yeah, I get that.
I almost assuredly would have. Yeah, like the few NFL football games I've been to, I'm like, I kind of would rather be home and just like doing whatever, you know?
Yeah, there's few, like, I think I'm on a 50% hit rate of going to see, like, British football games where I feel like I've had a really good time in person. Mainly because the 50% hit rate is due to 50% of games are good. You know, there's football,
right, some games are just bad.
Yeah, football has a good, like, it has a bad track record, of, like, most of the games that you watch probably aren't going to be very entertaining. Which I think
which
most
is why the
football
fans
will agree
have
with.
to be entertaining amongst themselves, to be fair.
Yeah. And a lot of that is just like being out in the cold, drinking overpriced beer in like what feels like like a cow trough of a seat.
Yeah.
And then you go for a piss and it's worse than a cow trough. It's like,
it's just a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
Everyone circles around, crosses streams.
But yeah, I'm also, I think I do want to like properly camp out at a festival because I think it's crazy that I have never done that. But also I'm like, I don't want to camp. So I want the festival part. I don't want to like,
right.
I want all the cool bit. But then I don't want to be that person that goes into like a fucking, like a glamping thing, you know, like a teepee or whatever.
Why not?
That's
By the way, TP is not glamping. to be clear.
well, what's the name of the thing? There's like a big.
I know. I'm saying like if you get like a cabin or something, maybe then that's
no.
glamping.
Okay,
But at
that's
a
not
certain
glamping.
point-
That's just a cabin. That's.
Yeah.
Do you know
When people in the U.S. talk about glamping, they're almost always talking about a cabin or like a big RV.
what?
Yeah.
Big RV, I kind of get, but that's not what
Yeah.
glamping is in like Europe at all. That's crazy.
Fair. Yeah.
Yeah, it still involves like a setup of something, but it would be like you have like access to electricity and
Electricity
like,
and
fridge
shower and stuff. Yeah. You guys got that in teepees over there?
Yeah, but it's just like a like not permanent setup. If I Google glamping, let me see what I see.
Yeah, I'm looking at some stuff right now. I do
Yeah,
glamping
like
teepees.
this kind of shit. I don't know what to call this. You can still see my screen, right?
Sorry, I was looking at my screen. I was doing my own Google.
Like this kind of stuff. Like it's a big tent with electricity.
Sure.
I guess
mean,
this is
there's
more
a
what
bed in
you're
there. I
talking
think
about.
if there is a framed bed, then yeah, it is probably like a little bit too much. You know what I mean? If it looks like a room.
Oh yeah, framed bed is crazy, and that's all we're seeing here. I'm thinking like a step down from this would be like classic. Like this is glamping, but not at a festival. Like festival
like,
glamping
imagine if you
is
were
very different.
In one of these things with like the big canvas over the top, but you're in like a sleeping bag. That's just camping.
Yeah, that is just camping for sure, but it's just like a bigger tent. But I think they have not like sleeping bags, but like beds, but not like a bed frame. Like it's like a middle ground kind of.
You know what makes me want to do? I would never in a million years want to camp at a festival. It makes me like, it's like probably the thing I'd least likely do in the world. But there's one reason I would be interested, and it's really stupid. Are you ready?
Let me try and get. So camping at a festival, the one reason why you'd want to.
Yeah, because I would never want to do it. Like it doesn't suit my personality. It doesn't suit anything about it. I think it would be an awful experience.
Okay,
and I would hate it.
You're like middle-aged, so it's going to be something old. It will be like,
holy shit, he's seeing a line. Pull that thread.
Like something to do with like waking up early to like a view, or if it's in like the countryside, you'd see the stars at night. But then you'd be in a tent, so you wouldn't see that.
Still old, but less old. Still old, but less old. A very specific age range might be interested in festival camping.
Okay, I actually don't know. I think my pool.
Okay, I will spoil it for you, and that is that. This is embarrassing. Talk about the most embarrassing thing ever.
No.
I'll admit this right now. In the Harry Potter series, they go to the Quidditch World Cup, dude, and they're all camping out in their tents and watching Quidditch, man. I'm telling you, I'm like, this seems kind of cool. I have like a core memory of reading this book and thinking, what friendship and camaraderie. This is a film and television podcast,
act out
brother.
your fucking Harry Potter fantasy.
Yeah,
that's why you want to go, bro.
Exactly. I told you. That's what I feel.
Okay.
I'm sure people listening to this is a Glee television podcast. People listening to this are like, holy shit, I get it. I actually know exactly what he's talking about.
It is so obviously people really like Harry Potter in the UK as well, but it is crazy how much you guys in the US like. We like Harry Potter in the UK, but a lot of the stuff that happens in it, like we can experience normally because it's just British things. But it is so funny how you take stuff like that. And
like riding a train.
Yeah, you're like, oh, this is so Harry Potter. And it's like just a fucking a normal thing.
I'm with you. Yeah,
camping with your friends. Oh my God, that's so Harry Potter.
Not camping, to be clear. Camping around a larger event in which that is the conceit. Because I've been camping many times. But I've never been festival camping.
That is very funny. Okay, what percentage of you thought of that story outside of the fact that one of the points on the list is Harry Potter fans disappointed? Because this is a crazy easy transition.
I actually have not even looked at this list, to be perfectly honest.
Sick.
I actually don't even see it right now. I see fucking Cybertruck. Oh, there it is, the last thing. I just saw that tent on glamping and was like, this looks like Harry Potter.
That's so funny because I think you might be among the group of people that, spoiler alert, I want to fucking take the piss out of.
Do it.
So I don't know if you saw this or even know about it, but apparently every single year at fucking, where is it? King's Cross Station, at a certain time every year they do the Harry Potter announcement for like fucking 9 3/4 maybe. I don't fucking know.
Sure.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And this year they didn't do it.
No.
Which obviously fans were rioting, but I didn't realize that fans were rioting because like, oh, that's a shame that it didn't happen. Fans are rioting because they're literally there.
Yeah, of course, they make a pilgrimage.
There's so many people. Insane.
It's just a normal announcement.
Just a lady going, sorry, it's really busy right now. There's multiple cancellations, which is just like normal fucking UK trade shit. They're always cancelled. It's fucking awful. Just listen to all the Harry Potter fans being disappointed. They're all booing.
Damn, they're booing.
Oh, that feeds me, dude. That fucking, I love that sound. Can we get that on repeat? Let's do one more time.
Tough. They spent so much time and money to go there.
I wonder how many people aren't from London that are there. There's got to be like a high percentage, right? Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, that's so sick. So, do you think, I know, I I was wondering whether you would be part of this group, because I feel like Rochelle would definitely be part of this group. She's very Harry Potter coded, right?
I think, okay, I'm going to tell you something crazy. And that's one is that I was definitely like the bigger Harry Potter guy than her.
Really?
Yeah. She's like,
hey, when I came to visit you, you hid that, because Rochelle was always talking about Harry Potter things, and you were kind of like coyly like be like, oh yeah, you love Harry Potter. Like you were never taking full responsibility.
Which obviously changes things. She's like next generation Harry Potter, where it's like she didn't read the books, but she watched the movies. I think being a Harry Potter movie fan and like that is like weird to me.
Yeah, because you only think it's weird because that's not you. Like, so many people are just Harry Potter movie fans. Like, that's the majority. Yeah, to me,
that's weird. And Rochelle is one of them. And so she's like still in Harry Potter. She went and watched all the movies again recently, like a couple weeks ago when she was sick.
Dude, and it's so. I will say, I've been shitting on Harry Potter fans. It is so cringe that J.K. Rowling is like a horrible person, because I do think the movies and like the world and everything is so sick. Like, it's undeniably great. So I'm not a hater on the world or the concept or even liking it. It's just like the levels of liking it, especially now J.K. Rowling's like Cringest house.
Yeah. And I will say, to answer your original question, neither Rochelle or I would be caught dead there. Straight up. Both of us would be like, that is so lame. You know what I mean?
But you would go festival camping to be in Harry Potter. Ooh.
I said the only reason I would consider it is because it like feels good. But I don't think I have like the friendships that they had at that point in their life to do.
Wait, what do you mean? You have plenty of friends.
I can't think there would be like, what would we be camping around that I would care about enough? And it's like, okay, I'm tailgating around the Super Bowl, I guess, and my team is there. Yeah, and it's also somehow in like an idyllic
outside
field.
The Super Bowl, I feel like would be really bad. Like tailgating is all right.
Tailgating's lit.
Yeah, but like, do people stay in tents there? Because that feels crazy. That feels weird.
So tailgating, no one stays. I shouldn't say no one, because I don't know anything about like the deep South where they love college football. But like the tailgates I've been to are like they start early the morning of the game, and they put up a bunch of like not necessarily tents, but big shades.
Yeah, like gazebos.
Grills, and they're like playing cornhole.
Do you guys call them gazebos?
No, I think we call them like little pop-up tents is what we call them. It's like 4 legs and a roof, right?
See, a tent is only something that you sleep in for us.
Fair.
If it's like, it's got to have the full cover, you know?
It's got to have the side, the walls, maybe a door even for a tent. Yeah.
But yeah, so you wouldn't be the cringers that are waiting at the announcement.
I mean, I live
Cross.
in Los Angeles. I liked Harry Potter was a formative part of my growing up. I live in Los Angeles. I've never been to Harry Potter World. It's like 20 minutes up the road.
That is interesting. I feel like you should go. You would probably have a good time, right?
Yeah, I think I probably would have a good time. I think it'd be cool, man. But at a certain point, I'm just like, I can leave the past in the past. I'm sure as a child you had a teddy bear or a blanket you loved, and it meant the world to you then. And you have fond memories of it now, but you don't need to like hold it.
Yeah, I think that's very different though. I don't have like fond memories of like stories with like, if I could go and revisit. Like, I used to play with my toys and, like, create, like actual, like, movie shit in my mind of, like, oh, this toy is this character and this toy is this character, and I'm making up my own stories and stuff. Like, if there was a world of that story, I'd go to that world. That'd be so sick. That'd be sick. I'd be like, oh, this is the character that I loved when I was younger, but it's, like, them in their world. That's cool. Like, that I get. I just wouldn't, like, yeah, I agree that I can look at a teddy bear that I had when I was a kid and be like, I don't need to hug that anymore.
Yeah, and maybe I'm too far gone. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm an adult and Charlie Brown, wah, 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 instead of the kids all talking to each other. So, but
I'm trying to think of because I never really got into, I guess Pokemon is my version of that.
Right.
Which I am becoming because there's been a tweet going around recently that is like, oh no, I'm starting to forget all of the Pokemon names or whatever it is.
Right.
And that is unironically me. I like, since the last couple of generations, I didn't know every single one of the Pokemon, and that was like a big thing. Like, I couldn't name all of them. But the scariest part is I was just like scrolling through TikTok. And there was a Pokemon came up on like this Pokemon card opening, and I was like,
sure,
that's a Gen 3 Pokemon that I don't remember the name of. Gen 3, bro. Yeah. That was like, I learned to read from Pokemon, and like that would have been around like Gen 2 that I was playing. So Gen 3 was peak me loving Pokemon. I should be knowing every single Gen 3 Pokemon, and I just completely blanked.
Do you think you could stump me on a Gen 1 through 3 Pokemon right now? You have one chance. Fastball down the middle.
Okay. So I pull it up. How do
you
I
pull up a picture of it without? Here, I will hide Discord or stop sharing your screen. or something.
I'll open a different tab. I've got a different tab open.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. I've got one because I think I remembered the name.
Actually, let's start with Gen 1. Let's do 1, 2, then 3 because it should go up in difficulty. So like the hardest of each, and then we can end on this little game.
I'm down. Well, we shouldn't end on this game because the ones in red are the ones I really wanted to cover.
okay. Well, then let's quickly do this game, and then we can go.
I'll send you this one. This one from Gen 3. Because I already thought of it and I have already pulled it up. This is the one that I saw that I don't think I couldn't remember. I think I couldn't remember the name.
In the moment, you were like, I do not know the name of this.
Yeah, I have since relearned and I am trying to brush up my Pokemon knowledge. Okay,
it's funny because in this moment, I am like visualizing a bunch of Gen 3 Pokemon. I have no fucking idea what they're called.
I'm sending you this.
If this is the eel... Wow, that's so funny. It's not that one. It's the evil version of this.
The evil version of that. Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? The evil version of this?
Yeah, I could say the name of that if it would help you to name this. They're not very similar at all, but the evil version is Huntail.
Yeah. This is... God, I think this has like a funny name. I think it's like fucking Gorbis or something. Gore. What is it called?
Yeah.
What is it called?
Gorbis.
Yes, I'm the GOAT. You cannot stop me.
You saying I think it's like Gorbis or something.
Because I'm looking at just for obviously it's not on my screen right now, but there is like a cute little pink fish Pokemon with like a bikini, and it's called Gorbis, like it's gonna kill someone. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that was sick. Well done.
I still got it. So you fell off Lamau, and I'm still the GOAT. I'm cool because I know Pokemon.
Yeah, you are very cool and based, and you love Harry Potter too.
It's so true, man.
Okay, Stanz, just so you know, in fact, you already know this, that Glee is in the zeitgeist, because one of these you sent me.
I did my job again.
Now, we don't have to go over this now because we've been already talking for an hour, but I just wanted to bring it up. Hey, Glee is in the zeitgeist.
Let's go through. Let's see what is actually in the zeitgeist.
Because we also, just so you know, I want to talk a bit about the future, like we talked about. Are you good to Glee zeitgeist and do like a 5-minute bit of that? It's up to you.
I'm sweating. I'm sweating, man.
You're sweating. You need to go back to your
Check
throne.
Check the calendar. Hey, I'll tell you one thing. Yesterday's video went from a 9 out of 10 to a 3 out of 10.
Yes, sir. We love that.
I can stay.
What does that mean? Wait.
Hey, we're eating tonight, fam.
Let's go. Okay, so Glee is in the zeitgeist. You sent me this, Stanz, which is crazy.
I did. I don't remember what it is.
So it was a tweet that I was like amazed that you sent me, and then the more I looked into it, the more I got confused by everything about it.
Sure.
So do you want to go ahead and read me your tweet? Well, it's not your tweet.
Yeah,
but the one
yeah.
You sent
This
me.
is from Stupid Bear Koya on Twitter, aka the summer chapter raised to the 7th, and it says, "I'm sorry, but kids these days will never understand what it was like to watch Grant Gustin, White Boy of the Month, out cunt Naya Rivera on a fucking Michael Jackson cover, and it wasn't like she phoned it in. It was such a close call. Glee really made you believe anything was possible."
So I read this and was instantly like, okay, first of all, 5 million views, Glee's in the zeitgeist. That was my first thought because I think it should.
Hey, unless this is from South America, then it means 4.9 thousand, by the way.
Yeah, unless it's Portuguese. Yeah.
Whoopsies.
To be hey, do you want to pull back the curtain? I knew that it wasn't 1 million.
You should have told me. I look like a fool.
No, because we both said it, and also it makes our point better. And then we get people to comment. It makes our point better, it looks better, and people comment. That's a triple whammy. As soon as you said Mill, I was like, whammy. I could ruin the moment, or I could leave it and get some comments. You should have
ruined the moment.
No.
You should have ruined the moment.
I think something like that's fine. That's not like misinformation in a bad way. That's
it just makes me look like a fucking goon.
Yeah, but we already look like goons. We're looking at well, okay, we're not gooners.
All right, so let's talk about this Glee.
Sorry. Yeah, a bit of a tangent there. So Glee was in the zeitgeist, 5 million views. But then my next thought was like, I don't think that's that good of a take. Because especially going against Naya Rivera is like, that's a cardinal sin, especially in Glee
Right.
talk.
Well, that's why it was crazy, because it was a close call.
Yeah, but it's saying that Grant Gustin won. Like, if you watch the cover, Annie, are you okay? Don't get me wrong, it's an amazing cover, but it is amazing because of Naya Rivera. There is not there's no question. You can make a judgment on that later. But as you can see, Stanz, the judgment was already made by Twitter, because I didn't realize that it only had 1,800 likes for 5 million views.
But honestly, not that many comments either. It feels like just a weird thing where people saw it.
It's because everyone's quote retweeting it, because it has over 800 quote retweets absolutely fucking shitting on this take.
Yeah, that's tough.
So I wanted to talk about this because obviously it's in the zeitgeist, but also this is spoilers, okay? You don't even know... we've not even been introduced to Grant Gustin like as a character, and he is part of a group that we also haven't even been introduced to. Okay. So this is, I think, maybe even from season 4, maybe season 3, but it's not from season 2, and we're a whole season away from this potentially.
Got it.
So I don't care context. We don't care about any of that. We just want to judge.
I will say I watched a couple clips of this.
You've already seen bits of this. Okay.
I didn't watch the whole thing through. I just like went to the middle and like saw some of it and was like, oh, they're in like this weird room. That was it. I didn't make a judgment call on my own.
This person posted this clip with the context. Director said cut, but Naya Rivera and Grant Gustin heard cunt and went with it. Which is, I love that meme for it. It's so good. This is an absolute banger. Are you ready, Stanz?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that these two are like YouTubers that do like cello content as well, that they just got in because they're great celloists.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I'll be honest, I think the celloists serve more cunt than Grant does. They're good.
He looks like knockoff New in Town comedian. What's that guy's name?
New in Town?
Yeah.
I don't know. He looks a bit like Porky from
John Mulaney. He looks like John Mulaney's son. Yeah.
Oh, the harmony. I have to skip forward to the ad libs from Naya, because like all of this is, you can admit this is good so far, correct?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. The celloists absolutely were the best part of that.
Right, exactly.
Like,
they were the ones serving cunt. I do, like, there's a hierarchy here, but I think Naya Rivera is, like, undoubtedly
Did Naya Rivera have
better.
work done from between season 1 and season 4?
Yes. But I
feel
don't
like her
think
face
on a
is so much less expressive. Oh, really?
There's a joke about it, I think, in episode 1 of season 2.
Did she get breast implants or something?
No, what?
Oh.
Who would do that? Yeah, of course not.
Because I feel like she's not actually like selling it. To me, she just looks like her face is paralyzed in that. I would actually say
that's insane.
That was not
face is paralyzed, bro.
Yeah,
no,
you know,
she's
like
serving. She was the go. You already.
She looks bored. She looks bored.
You were a Naya Rivera hater.
I'm not. I actually love Naya Rivera.
You don't. You've never said a nice thing about her performances on Glee ever. Genuinely.
I think she's beautiful.
You just said she looks paralyzed in the face.
You know, her performance. That doesn't mean, hey, a lot of people get Botox and look good. It just doesn't. It means that she's not expressive. You know what I mean?
I'm sure if you went up to someone and said, hey, you look paralyzed in the face, and then they got offended and you went, what? No, sorry, I meant beautiful. I'm sure
if it was after a
performance,
they would know what I'm talking about. They'd be like, you're right, I didn't sell it. You're so right. You're so right, chef.
But this isn't the only Glee zeitgeist moment that we've had since our last episode, Stanz. There's two. Okay. One of them is actually insane, and the other one's just kind of funny.
Okay, let's see. Which one do you want to see first?
The absolutely insane one, because I saw this TikTok.
Is Does it say 0 comments, by the way?
5 most important days in U.S. history.
Sure,
5, the moon landing. 4, invention of light bulb. 3, Independence Day. 2, the Danny Jansen game. 1, Glee premieres in May 19th, 2009.
That's crazy.
Spoiler alert, the MLB posted this.
Dude, that's actually so funny.
What the fuck?
When you scrolled down, I was like, this is not that funny. And then seeing that, it's like, wait, what?
That's why I didn't want to spoil it to you too much. It explains why number 2 is the Danny Jansen game.
Yeah, it explains a lot. Like, what are the comments? I'm sorry, people seeing this, they'd be so pissed, I feel like.
Glee?
Yeah, Glee. Glee mentioned. Yeah. And then, like, Brat Summer Kenzie saying, good job, intern, is so funny.
It is very funny. And that's what you missed on Glee. It's so sick. And someone, I think, if you go to our Discord, Stanz, Binge and Cringe,
Sure.
And then you scroll up a little bit to August 28th, Olympus was the one that found this and posted this. And you could see my exact reaction because I watched the whole thing and then didn't really understand it. And then he posted, it's actually in the zeitgeist. I cannot believe the Major League Baseball is in on it. And I went, what? That was posted by the MLB?
Yeah,
it's
so funny.
So fucking funny. But yeah, it's the official account posted this. I don't know why. I guess the fucking social media intern just loves Glee. But it's amazing. It's in the zeitgeist. And it's got 134,000 likes. The thumbnails aren't loaded. All right, whatever. It's got maybe a million views. That ratio seems correct, which is crazy. And then this is the extra zeitgeist thing. I actually can't remember what this is. Oh, this is so good. Wait. Why is this not loading?
Oh no!
You read it and then I'll click on it so you can see.
Sure. It says this is a conversation between Jesse St. James and Quinn Fabray. Jesse St. James, I'm just a poor boy. Nobody loves me. Quinn Fabray.
Wait, is it been deleted? No, this post is from an account that no longer exists. They got removed from Twitter. Okay, do you want what? I'll describe what it was.
Did I not tag you in this one too? This one is different.
You might have seen it, but you didn't tag me. It's from a movie. I don't know. It's a woman giving birth, and she just fucking projectile like shoots the baby out of her vagina, and it flies like through 3 different rooms. It's fucking crazy.
I didn't send you that. I'll tell you, I didn't send you that one.
Oh, is that not what you've seen? I wish it had the video because it's so fucking funny. With the like that in one is amazing. I'm sorry it was split up.
We were too slow, man.
Yeah. Twitter is cracking down on the wrong people. I will say that. The fact that all of Brazil, and maybe they're Brazilian. Oh no!
That could be
Brazil's been deleted from Twitter. No.
That's fucked.
Twitter need to fucking. I hope another billionaire buys Twitter because I think I would prefer almost any other billionaire than our current billionaire that's owning Twitter.
No shit.
Okay. And that is Glee in the zeitgeist. And I figured, speaking of Glee, we can talk about a little bit about the potential future of Binge and Cringe and what we're wanting to do. Because Stanz and I talked before the podcast. And we have like a new kind of like roadmap. But it's nothing's finalized. And I also kind of want your opinions on things. If you're all okay with it, then it's great. But if there's if someone's getting other ideas, let us know in the Discord.
Yeah.
But essentially, the podcasts that we've been doing, like this one here, that we're calling Slop, these will be relatively the same, except from we will, as this is a film and TV kind of podcast, we will be trying to talk more about film and TV. We can maybe even have a little section where we're like, this is definitely not stealing from another podcast, but what have you been watching? What have you been looking into, Stanz? We won't call it what we reading, what are we going to read, and then play a theme tune, because that would be stealing.
I've lost the plot here.
Hey, if anyone's a Mr. Sunday Movies fan, they'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, we can just do regular things. That will be once every 2 weeks. And then the other week, what's it called when you're swapping but every other week?
Bi-weekly?
Bi-weekly. Alternating was the word I was looking for. But
Sure,
yes, you were right.
Sure.
But we are alternating between doing a podcast episode that goes on YouTube and then a live com, whether that's Glee, mostly it'll be Glee, with our like recap afterwards as a video that still exists, so you guys still get like us talking about the episode and our craziest moments and whatnot, but just on Patreon, so that there isn't like a full podcast episode built around each episode, but that we still get to like express our thoughts and opinions. Thoughts and opinions will be for free on the Patreon side, and then the live com will still be in the $5 tier. I think I'm also going to rework the tiers. In the $5 tier will just be Glee, and then the $10 tier will be like everything else, and then the $20 tier will be like the woo, you get nothing, but thank you for supporting. Because currently the woo, you get nothing, thank you for supporting is $50, and I'm like trying to cut down on the amount of live comms that I'm doing because I am not meeting the amount that I would like for the tiers, and it feels like there's no reason
welcome to the club, brother.
Yeah. There's no reason for people to be paying for the $20 tier currently, I think. So I may as well just put everything in 10 and then make the $20 be literally no reason. Like, you signed up for it for no reason.
Right.
And I think that's everything. So the podcast would go to once every 2 weeks. And we would still have big episodes that are like, for example, last episode, we ranked every Glee song. Those kind of episodes would still be full main podcast episodes. And then we would also do, like, if for example, we're going to watch all the Shrek movies eventually. I think Shrek can still be like a full episode because Shrek is love, Shrek is life, and there's so much to talk about and go into on Shrek things. Like if we did High School Musical 3, that would be like its own episode where we could talk about it for a bit before, break, watch the movie, and then talk about the rest afterwards. So it would just be changing the format for basically the week in, week out, whatever we're watching, which for the most part is Glee. And I think it changes things so it's more manageable for us because we're doing it technically like 1 week less, but you guys still get everything that you would like. I think it's a win-win.
But let us know.
Yeah. Let us know your thoughts and opinions. And the main reason for doing this is to like try and make it more manageable so that we're not saying, hey, sorry, we're late on this, blah, blah, blah. Hopefully this should be like we're not late because we have like the same amount of time that we've been doing 2, we're now doing 1. So it should be easier in theory.
In theory.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. But Glee is coming. This was like one of the main things that we wanted to try and like finalize before going back with stuff because I didn't want to change like halfway through a season or whatever. So I wanted to make sure everything was smooth sailing. And we need to watch High School Musical 3 because we hit the goal for that. So as we hit the goal for that, we need to watch that before we start High School Musical really? Glee season 2. Yeah.
We hit the goal for it?
Yeah, I mean, we've hit the goal and then since gone down, but we did hit the goal.
All right, I believe you.
And then there's a couple of extra things behind the scenes that I want to get sorted. So no ETA as of yet for when we start Glee season 2, but it is coming and it's in the pipeline, and it's also in the zeitgeist.
Yes, sir.
Stanz, you have a catchphrase for us to close us out?
Making fantasies real.
I don't. Is that just off the top of your head, or did you look up?
That's a real brand.
What is that?
I never tell. That's the whole point of this. The whole point of this is I never tell. People have to figure it out. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard.
It just like, is it a sex toy? Is what I'm trying to. What is it?
Never tell. I'll see you guys next time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Binge and Cringe. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Let us know in the Discord what you think about the plan and if you liked it. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
How to Turn Fantasy into Reality by Catherine Haylock. Bad Dragon!